Yo, YouTube, what's up with your boy, Sports and Fitness Rants? I'm back, guys. Click that like button. Subscribe to my channel. What's up, y'all? Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Got another great video for you guys today, as usual. You guys know the deal on this channel. It's all about setting the record straight, stopping the lies, stopping the narratives, stopping them from rewriting history, guys. Holding the standard, stopping them from rewriting history. Remember that. That's very important here, guys. Setting the record straight, and we're standing up, man. And in this video, once again, we're going to talk about Scottie Pippen. A lot of you guys were asking me to comment on the Scottie Pippen interview. And shout out to Joshua Gonzalez. He sent me the clip of Scottie Pippen's interview with, what is it, Valuetainment, I think it's called, with Patrick Bet-David, or whatever the guy's name is. He's the host of that show. And Scottie Pippen was on there for an interview. And this interview, guys, I watched it. I don't know if it was the whole interview, whatever this guy sent me. I watched the entire clip, and that interview is cringe. It's nothing but cringe. Nothing but contradictions and just weird statements, once again, from Scottie Pippen, a bunch of hypocritical statements. And like I said, in contradictions, man. We're going to talk about in this video, because Scottie Pippen, once again, you see, and this is what I'm talking about, guys. This one, who wants to listen to Scottie Pippen? Who cares what he has to say at this point? It doesn't matter, even if he's speaking facts. I don't want to hear what Scottie Pippen, I do not care what Scottie Pippen has to say, guys. He's lost all credibility already. It's too late for that, Scottie Pippen. Don't want to hear this stuff, man. We're talking about this video. And I want to thank you guys, everyone across the world, everyone across the state. You guys know the deal, man. I am truly, truly humble, man. Much respect to all you guys out there. Like I said, shout out to Joshua Gonzalez for sending me the clip. Thank you to all you guys out there that email me, send me messages. I try to get back to you guys. I know that I'm bad at responding to emails and some of these messages sometimes, guys. I don't look at this stuff too often. You know, we all got a bunch of things going on in our lives, man. Life gets crazy sometimes, so forgive me, guys. But thanks to all you guys out there. Shout out to everybody in the membership. And you guys know what to do. Turn the volume all the way up. Hit that play button. Remember, these videos are for educational purposes. And let's roll. So, yes, guys, like I said, man, you guys have been asking me to comment on the Scottie Pippen interview. And I remember you guys were mentioning this to me during the live stream that I did. And some of you guys were asking me about these comments, if I had seen what Scottie Pippen said. And I did not see what Scottie Pippen said. And like I said, shout out to Joshua Gonzalez for sending me the clip of the Scottie Pippen interview. Now, I wrote down some stuff here that Scottie Pippen said because, like I said, this man contradicted himself left and right. Just a complete hypocrite, Scottie Pippen. And I've done many videos on Scottie Pippen. You guys know this. And we've talked about many different angles. I've given you guys the breakdown of Scottie Pippen's career and how many times this man, you know, folded up from Michael Jordan. How many times he wasn't there for Michael Jordan. Because all we hear now is that Michael Jordan's 1-9 without Scottie Pippen. And the way that they try to rewrite history now, as if Michael Jordan couldn't win anything, and it was Scottie Pippen that was the difference maker. Once Scottie Pippen got to the Bulls, that was it. That's all they needed was him, and they were able to take off running. When we all know that's not the reality of the situation. That's nowhere close to the actual facts of the matter. Right? It took several years for Scottie Pippen to develop. He wasn't coming in as an all-star or a ready-made player. He had to develop. Michael Jordan had to push him in practice. These are all things that we're talking about. So when they talk about Scottie Pippen and they're talking about, you know, Michael Jordan and they're talking about all these things that are going on, once again, man, they're trying to rewrite history, guys. That's all it's about. It's about them rewriting history. That's what it comes down to. So like I said, during this interview, guys, it's straight cringe, man. This interview is complete cringe. The statements that Scottie Pippen says are cringeworthy. None of it adds up. None of it makes any sense, man. I really don't understand, you know, what the goal is for a Scottie Pippen. And I've told you guys, this is what I told you guys about integrity. This is why integrity matters. Because now Scottie Pippen wants people to listen to him, but no one wants to listen to Scottie Pippen. Why would you listen to Scottie Pippen? Why would you listen to him? It doesn't make any sense now. All these years later, all the nonsensical statements that he's made ever since his book came out, back in, was that 2020, I believe, all the crying and moaning he did about the Last Dance documentary, all the nonsensical lies that he said about Michael Jordan. These are lies, ladies and gentlemen. These are not narratives. This is not his opinion on Michael Jordan. These are lies that Scottie Pippen was telling about Michael Jordan. Lies that he was telling about himself. Right, trying to pump himself up and make it seem as if he was the catalyst. He was the leader of the Chicago Bulls. It was Scottie Pippen and the Chicago Bulls, not Michael Jordan's Chicago Bulls. Right, also, Scottie Pippen was crying about he didn't get the just due. He felt like he didn't get enough credit. Oh, Michael Jordan didn't give us our just due. When in reality, we know that Michael Jordan always gave his teammates their just due. That's what made Michael Jordan such a great teammate. He may have pushed these guys. He may have been harsh to these guys, but he also respected them enough to give them their just due. Always shouted his teammates out. And once again, he pushed them because he wanted them to win. He wanted them to be winners. That's what Michael Jordan wanted for his teammates. So once again, Michael Jordan was a great teammate. He was a great teammate to Scottie Pippen. All these years later now, Scottie Pippen is acting as if he didn't get his just due. And once again, trying to rewrite history and basically lie about Michael Jordan and create this, false narrative. So in this interview with Patrick Bet-David, Scottie Pippen talks about a lot of nonsensical things. And once again, this guy asks some questions that really no one cares to hear the answers to from Scottie Pippen. Nobody wants to hear this stuff. And this is what I'm telling you guys. Who cares what Scottie Pippen has to say at this point? Like I said, regardless of what he's saying, this man could be giving you the winning lotto numbers. Who's going to listen to Scottie Pippen? No one's going to listen to him now. He is essentially the boy who cried wolf. That's Scottie Pippen, man. He has no cachet. He has no credibility now because all the statements that you're saying are not real. They're not accurate. We can disprove you left and right, Scottie Pippen. Oh, I didn't get my just due from Michael Jordan. And here we come bringing up the clips, the audio of Michael Jordan shouting out Scottie Pippen, giving him his just due. Horace Grant, Tony Kukoc, Dennis Rodman, shouting out the coaching staff and the game plan. He's given everyone their just due. Always. Michael Jordan never took all the shine. And once again, Michael Jordan took the blame. You never heard Michael Jordan blame Scottie Pippen or blame Phil Jackson or blame Horace Grant. Right? He never blamed a situation. He never made excuses. Oh, we got to make a trade. Oh, we got to do this. Oh, we got to do that. He never did these things. Michael Jordan took accountability as a true leader would. Never put the blame on Scottie Pippen when he could have blamed Scottie Pippen plenty of times. But he never did this. So what has Scottie Pippen said over the years? And I told you, this is one of the main reasons why I created a channel. Because of guys like Scottie Pippen trying to rewrite the history. I did not remember this stuff growing. I did not remember what Scottie Pippen was saying, the things that he was saying. I don't remember any of that stuff when I was growing up. I don't remember that. That's why I said to you, that's not what I watched. It's not. These guys are literally guys trying to rewrite history. That's literally what they're trying to do. Bend reality and just rewrite it, guys. And that's not the facts. And we won't allow this. And so Scottie Pippen has said all kinds of crazy things about Michael Jordan over the last 5 years or so. He's contradicted himself left and right. He sounded like a complete hypocrite. 1 minute, LeBron James, the greatest of all time. Then the next minute, Michael Jordan's greatest of all time. His man even called himself the greatest of all time. He said he wanted to be remembered as the greatest of all time, and he doubled down on that in this interview. That's cringe as hell. And this guy asked him about those comments, and he said, listen, man, maybe you were just making these comments because you wanted to sell a book. And Scottie Pippen was like, no, that's how I feel. I felt, listen, man, I could do things on both sides of the ball. Look at my career. The man literally started reading off his accolades. I'm an all-NBA, all-defensive player. So that makes you the greatest of all time in your eyes, Scottie Pippen? You see what I'm saying? This is cringe, guys. Cringe as hell. It don't add up. So I wrote down some of this stuff here. So let's think about this now. So Scottie Pippen literally said that he wanted to be remembered as the greatest of all time. But then in the same interview, he said that there is no greatest of all time in a team sport. I don't understand these guys. Do they not listen to what they say? It's almost like these guys are deaf and they're just talking, but they don't hear themselves. So Scottie Pippen, you say in your book, or before your book came out, you made that statement. And I think it was in the book. I wanted to be remembered as the greatest of all time. So if you really felt that you wanted to be remembered as the greatest of all time, then how can you minutes later in the same interview say that there is no greatest of all time in a team sport? You see what I'm saying, guys? It's a complete contradiction. Why would you want to be remembered as greatest of all time, but then all of a sudden you say there is no greatest of all time in a team sport? And the reason why Scottie Pippen would say something like that, oh, there is no greatest of all time in a team sport, anyone that tells you that there is no greatest of all time in a team sport, once again, they're saying that because they don't want to be honest and they don't know the game. Like I said, guys, you can have an opinion. You can say who's the greatest of all time, who you feel is the greatest of all time, as long as you back it up with evidence. You give some evidence, some facts to support your view. You can absolutely do that. I've told you guys, basketball more so than any other quote-unquote team sport is individually based, right? One individual in a basketball game on a basketball court can have much more impact than one soccer player on a field, one football player on a field, one hockey player on the ice, one baseball player, right? One basketball player, your star player, he can impact the game more. And not just the game, but the people around them more. When you talk about baseball as a sport, and I say one player can have an impact on a basketball court more so than a baseball field or some of these other sports, you know, someone might say, oh, what about the pitcher? And yes, the pitcher has a hell of a impact on the game. If he's not throwing strikes, if he's throwing balls, if whatever the case may be, that's an impact on the game. The game could go either way. But once again, the pitcher doesn't have an influence on the other players around him. So the pitcher can't field for them. So if he throws a pitch, the second baseman's got to field it. The outfield's got to catch the ball. These guys got to make the plays behind him. That is dependent on themselves. That has nothing to do with the pitcher. Nothing to do with him. Michael Jordan on a basketball court, a superstar playing a basketball court. Not only can he impact the game to a degree, but once again, he can impact the players around him more so than any other sport, man. There's only 5 people on a court for each team in basketball, right? So think about some of these other sports, how many people are on the field to play, things of that nature. And once again, basketball is individually a sport. Think about the scoring. Think how many scores of the points is scored in basketball. In hockey, you can win a game 1-0. There's no one winning a basketball game 1-0, 2-0. It's not happening, man. In soccer, you can win. You can have a game go 0-0 the whole game, and you get to end in a shootout. That's not in basketball, man. No game in NBA's history is ever going to end 0-0 and go to overtime after 0-0. No, there's no game is going to be 5-2 like in a baseball game. That's not going to happen, man. It's not, guys. Once again, in football, they don't play offense and defense. They play offense, and those guys play defense. Once again, not the same as basketball. So there can absolutely be a greatest of all time in basketball, but that's not what we're here to debate. Anyone that tells you, oh, you can't have a greatest of all time in basketball, they're only saying that because they don't want to mince Michael Jordan, man. Those are the facts. Anyone that says that just doesn't want to mince Michael Jordan. They can absolutely be a greatest of all time. They've been debating that since the beginning of time, which is another contradiction I heard Scottie Pippen say last in that interview. He said that there was never a GOAT before the 90s. There was never a quote-unquote GOAT before the 90s. So once again, you're making it seem as if they only started talking about the greatest of all time because of Michael Jordan. When we know that's not the fact, Scottie Pippen, you're trying to rewrite history. George Mikan was considered Mr. Basketball. That was his nickname, Mr. Basketball. George Mikan, guys, the original superstar, the original big man to lead the first dynasty. He was considered the greatest player in the game. That's the greatest of all time. Maybe they didn't call it the greatest of all time, but he was known as Mr. Basketball, the best basketball player in the country. That's greatest of all time. Bill Russell was regarded as the greatest basketball player of all time at some point. Wilt Chamberlain was regarded as the greatest basketball player at some point back in the day. I told you, when I was growing up in the 80s, guys, it was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar originally. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, a lot of people saying. There were still some people saying Wilt. There were still some people saying Bill Russell. There were still some people saying Oscar Robertson. There were people saying Dr. J. There were people saying Jerry West as the greatest player of all time. Who was the greatest? That's what they were saying, guys. So I don't know what the hell Scottie Pippen's talking about when he said, oh, there was no greatest of all time before the 90s. Dude, what the hell are you talking about? They were talking about Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. It was before Michael Jordan. Oscar Robertson. These guys were way before Michael Jordan. And these guys were regarded as the greatest players, if not the greatest player in the history of the game. So absolutely there were people being talked about and being labeled as the best player of all time or the greatest player of all time. We could mince words. Scottie Pippen, you're once again not making any sense. Oh, they didn't do it for the 90s. There was no great player for the 90s. What are you talking about, man? Muhammad Ali was calling himself the greatest of all times back in the day before Michael Jordan was even around. There's always been that label. Scottie Pippen, once again, you sound ridiculous, man. You're not living in reality because why? Because Michael Jordan's being labeled as the greatest of all time now, and you don't want to agree with that? You can't admit it. You just can't. You're so jealous and envious of Michael Jordan, then you can't really admit that Mike Jordan's the greatest of all time or viewed that way by most people. You want to say some corny statement like, oh, there's no grace in a team sport. That's a cop-out, man. That's all that is. Anyone who says a cop-out. Once again, if you're an ex-NBA player and you want to make that statement because you respect the game so much that you don't want to just say, hey, this guy's the greatest of all time. Maybe you want to label a couple of players or you want to label each era a great player from each era. Okay, I get all that. But the fans, we're the ones who make these lists. That's why I tell you guys, we're the ones who do this. It's the fans. They've always been saying this. Oh, this guy's the greatest of all time. This guy's the greatest of all time. This guy's the best player. Like I said, you can mince words between the greatest of all time or the best of all time, the best ever, whatever you want to say. They've always been doing this, man. Always. Before Michael Jordan. Like I said, many people said it was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That was before Michael Jordan, man. Magic Johnson, Larry Bird. Like I said, all these other guys were given these labels at some point in time. And I told you, even to this day, there are many people that believe in these guys as the greatest of all time, whether it's Will Chamberlain or Bill Russell or, like I said, Magic Johnson or Larry Bird or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or Oscar Robertson or Jerry West or Dr. J. There are people who believe this. So another contradiction from Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen kept saying he played the game the right way. I don't even know what he's talking about, man. He kept repeating that same sentence, that phrase, I played the game the right way. I played the game the right way. Scottie Pippen, who didn't play the game the right way? I'm trying to figure it out. Because once again, he's trying to imply like Michael Jordan didn't play the game the right way. That's the only thing I'm getting from it, is that Michael Jordan didn't play the game the right way. Who didn't play the game the right way, Scottie Pippen? You can't just sit there and say, oh, I played the game the right way. I played the game the right way. But who didn't? No one ever said you didn't play the game the right way. But you make it seem as if you're the only guy from your era. Yeah, I was playing the game the right way, man. Dude, what are you talking about? That's what we're talking about. Back in the day, most of you guys played the game the right way. That's why we value and respect those eras. Today, most of the guys are not playing the game the right way. We talk about how the game is trash. Everyone just chucking up threes. No one's really giving any effort on the defensive end consistently. Guys are load managing and sitting out games just to sit them out. There are no true competitors. Guys are always asking for help. They always need a trade. Guys are teaming up. So we're talking about these guys are cheating the game. They're not true competitors, right? So once again, they're not playing the game the right way. The game is not balanced. The game is not good and fun to watch. But when Scottie Pippen keeps saying, oh, I played the game the right way. Why did you play the game the right way? Why did you play the game the right way, Scottie Pippen? Because Michael Jordan taught you the way to play, man. He showed you and guided you. He showed you the path. Michael Jordan played the game the right way. His approach to the game was second to none. His competitive fire, the way that he pushed his teammates, second to none. So when Scottie Pippen talks about I played the game the right way, you played the game the right way because your leader showed you the right way to play the game and how you guys were going to play the game. You weren't going to go out there and cheat the game and, like I said, be like a dirty team like the Detroit Pistons and try to hurt people out there. You guys were going to go out there and be true competitors, man. So yes, we respect what you guys did, but stop trying to make it seem like you played the game the right way, but no one else did. I played the game the right way. Scottie Pippen, stop it, man. You sound corny as hell. Scottie Pippen, his whole entire interview sounded delusional to me. He just sounded crazy. A lot of the things that he said didn't make any sense. Like, I'm listening to these two guys, and both of them sound like they've never even seen basketball before, which is crazy to me because Scottie Pippen's one of the all-time greats. But when he's talking about, oh, there was never a greatest of all time before the 90s, then once again, you tell me and show me that you are not watching the game before the 80s. You weren't watching the game in the 80s and the 90s. You weren't watching it before then. Because to make that statement, it proves it. There were people being called the greatest of all time or the best player ever back before Michael Jordan, before the 90s, man. For him to say that is insane. Once again, this is what the players do. I mean, the fans do. This is what we do as fans. We have these discussions. We have these debates. That's what makes it entertaining. That's what makes sports. Right? You debate these things. You must, once again, it's not just about our opinions. You must give facts and have the evidence. Oh, man. I mean, Scottie Pippen brought up Barry Bonds at one point in this interview, and he brought up Barry Bonds, and which showed me once again that you did not watch sports in the 80s or the 90s. He talked about what else did Barry Bonds do besides hit the ball. Are you kidding me, Scottie Pippen? What else did Barry Bonds do? You see what I'm saying? Like, these guys, they're not aware. Barry Bonds was an all-around player, Scottie Pippen. All-around player. You talk about what you did on the offensive end and what you did on the defensive end. Well, guess what, Scottie Pippen? Barry Bonds was a Gold Glove winner damn near every damn season. One of the greatest hitters of all time. He was could steal bases. He was a great athlete. He was a great all-around baseball player. To me, Barry Bonds has 2 Hall of Fame careers. One before the steroid allegations and one after the allegations. Barry Bonds on the Pittsburgh Pirates was amazing, sensational, but you didn't know about him because the Pirates were garbage. They weren't that great. Because like I told you guys, one great player in baseball doesn't have the same impact as one great player in basketball does. Michael Jordan could carry the lowly Bulls to the playoffs. Barry Bonds can't carry the Pirates to the postseason. I mean, look at Mike Trout. What has Mike Trout done since he's been in the MLB? Literally nothing. He's one of these great players, but he can't do it alone in baseball, right? More of a team-oriented sport. But when Scottie Pippen brings up Barry Bonds, oh, like, what did he do besides hit? Dude, what are you talking about? Barry Bonds could do whatever he wanted out there. He could do it all. Now, he didn't pitch because he could play his position. One of the great fielders at his position. And when he said, to me, you argue Barry Bonds is the greatest baseball player of all time, man. Yes, with the allegations swirling around him kind of destroys his argument, against some of the guys like Willie Mays and the Hank Aarons and the Babe Ruths and, people like that. But damn it, Barry Bonds could play the game, Scottie Pippen. You obviously don't know who Barry Bonds is and what he could do on the damn field. It's insane for you to make it seem like Barry Bonds was a hitter. It's insane. He said that he looks at basketball from a team standpoint, Scottie Pippen. And I told you, it doesn't make any sense for him to say that when he said that he wants to be remembered as the greatest of all time. That's a contradiction of yourself. But you are the one, once again, he's trying to make it seem as if Michael Jordan wasn't team-oriented. Why do you think Michael Jordan pushed his teammates in practice? He helped his teammates help him. That's called team. Michael Jordan understood what these guys, well, the value of them. So what did he do? He helped his teammates help him. That's showing that you understand team. Once again, Scottie Pippen talks about team, but all you keep doing is pumping yourself up. Scottie Pippen never talks about Horace Grant. He never brings up B.J. Armstrong. He never brings up John Paxson or Bill Cartwright. He never brings up Ron Harper. He never brings up any of these other guys. He only talks about himself. Oh, I didn't get this. I didn't get that. I didn't get this money. I didn't get that money. But then you're talking about, I look at things from a team standpoint. No, you don't. You look at things from an individual because you didn't feel like you got the individual shine, the individual accolades, right, of a Michael Jordan. And that's why you're envious all these years later. 20 years later, 30 years almost, you're still upset and envious and jealous of Michael Jordan. You're still upset about the money you didn't get. So now you have to come out here on these podcasts. You have to sell a book by creating these false narratives and just lying. So it leads me back to the beginning of this video, the purpose and intent of this video. Who the hell is going to listen to Scottie Pippen? Who cares what he has to say? Scottie Pippen has less credibility than me, guys. No, I've never played in the NBA. I didn't win 6 championships with Michael Jordan. I'm not an all-NBA performer. I'm not a Hall of Famer. I'm not one of the 50 greatest players of all time or top 75 player. I wasn't on the dream team like Scottie Pippen. But obviously, I have more integrity than Scottie Pippen. I have more honor than Scottie Pippen. I have more class than Scottie Pippen. So you guys should respect what I have to say more than Scottie Pippen. Once again, don't look at who we are, right? Our resumes. Oh, this guy never played. Who the hell is this guy? He's just sitting in his car talking in the camera. He don't know nothing. I'm giving you the facts. I know the truth. And once again, I have integrity, guys. I'm consistent. Scottie Pippen's not consistent. He's not giving you the facts. This man contradicts himself left and right. So why would you listen to Scottie Pippen? Why would you give what he says any credibility? He has no credibility. Him, Isaiah Thomas, Nick Wright, all these clowns, Kendrick Perkins, Shannon Sharp, they don't have any credibility. They flip-flop all over the place. LeBron James. I mean, these guys are idiots. So I ask again, who the hell is listening to Scottie Pippen? Who cares what Scottie Pippen has to say in relation to Michael Jordan? I don't care anymore. So once again, even if Scottie Pippen was telling you the facts, like I said, even if he's giving you the winning lotto numbers, I'm not listening to him. I don't care what he has to say. That ship has sailed. As far as I'm concerned, I don't want to hear anything that Scottie Pippen has to say about Michael Jordan, the Chicago Bulls, the 90s era. I don't want to care. He's already tried to tear it down with lies. He's already lost that opportunity. He's the boy who cried wolf, and I have no respect for him. None. I have no respect for Scottie Pippen, the man. None. I respect his playing career and what he did for the Bulls. We all did. We all appreciate Scottie Pippen, but he acts like now that no one appreciated him, no one respected him. He didn't get his just due. It's an absolute joke. Remember, Scottie Pippen said that Michael Jordan was a terrible basketball player before he got there. Remember, Scottie Pippen said that the reason he didn't win a Defensive Player of the Year award is because they were too busy watching Michael Jordan. The media was too busy watching Michael Jordan. And I laughed and I said, no, you dummy. If anything, that would have helped you get notoriety. The reason why Scottie Pippen got the shine that he did, because he played with Michael Jordan, you fool. Not the other way around. So playing with Michael Jordan would have got you more of a chance to win a Defensive Player of the Year award, you dummy, not less. He has a Michael Jordan's win Defensive Player of the Year award every year, and they didn't give it to him. Once again, Scottie Pippen played in an era with all-time great legit defenders. Gary Payton, Michael Jordan, Hakeem Olajuwon, David Robinson, Dikembe Mutombo. I mean, like, this is why you didn't win one, Scottie Pippen. You played in a great era, man, with great defenders. Should he have won one? Yeah, he probably could have won one. But he didn't because of the era he played in, not because of Michael Jordan, but you're blaming Michael Jordan. Remember, it was Scottie Pippen that said that he was the real leader of the Bulls, that all the teammates came running to him. Oh, they used to run to me all the time because Michael Jordan was so mean to them. What? Scottie Pippen, you sound crazy, man. Crazy. I was the real leader of the Bulls. What? It's insane. And these are the facts, guys. And this is why I tell you, I'll never respect what Scottie Pippen has to say. I'll never listen to him. So even if he tells you the facts, oh, LeBron James had to chase his rings, that's great. That is great. We get that, Scottie Pippen, but we've been saying this. You said that LeBron James is the greatest of all time some years back. You actually said that LeBron James might be greater than Michael Jordan some time back. You said that. I've never said that. I've never put LeBron James in even a top 10 conversation, let alone the greatest of all time. But you've said this. You guys flip-flop all over the place. I don't want to hear what you have to say. That's why I tell you guys, they must keep their integrity. If you don't keep your integrity, then why the hell would anyone respect or listen to what you have to say? Why? So whatever Scottie Pippen said, great for him. What I heard in that interview was a bunch of cringeworthy statements, a bunch of contradictions, man. Then he started saying he's greater than LeBron James, and that's great for Scottie Pippen if you feel you're greater than LeBron James. But that's part of the problem. You thought you were greater than Michael Jordan too, when we knew you were nowhere close to Michael Jordan. Nowhere close to him. Even to this day, you're still crying and moaning. So I don't care what Scottie Pippen has to say. He's a complete idiot, man. He's a complete hypocrite. And like I said, I do not respect him as a grown man. For you to be that envious and that jealous of another grown man, I told you guys, no grown man should be envious and jealous of another man like this. Of anyone. Don't do it, guys. You can't live like that. Look at Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen destroyed his reputation. He destroyed it for what? For some money? For some views? For some notoriety? He destroyed it, guys. You guys know the deal, man. I'll catch you guys on the next one.